Okay, on to the second batch of questions this week. I'm kind of doing a double episode, and what I'm going to be doing now, in regards to those who don't wish to be named in the questions, I'm just going to not say if they're private or not. If, like I say, they don't want to be named, so therefore there's no point listing them as private. I'll just read the questions out. First question is from Dark Jinjo. I hope I said this right. Jinjo94. Can you list your top 5 favorite WWE superstar theme songs? Well, first of all, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, because Sexy Boy is one of the greatest WWE theme songs of all time. Stone Cold Steve Austin's song, theme entrance that we know normally. Although I'm not too fond of Zack Ryder, I do like his ring entrance. It's a very cool way to enter. CM Punk, Cult of Personality, it says what it needs to. It's a great theme song to enter to. And probably one, this is a kind of a guilty pleasure, but I'm going to have it in as the top 5. Teddy Long's Mac Militer, because you hear it, it's like, oh, dang, it's a tag match! But yeah, those are my top 5. Oh, and here's one, a very rare one, from the ever-reliable X24 Rider. Sir, it's been a long time since you've asked a question. But anyway, his question is, out of all of the 6 Fast and Furious movies, who has been your favourite character so far, and which has been your favourite cut? Dude! Why do you always ask the tough ones? And also he says as a minor note, and thanks for the Twitter plug. No problem. In regards to who's been my favourite character, I would have to say Brian O'Connor, played by Paul Walker, because the guy shows heart. He goes to, the whole 9 yards and back for what he needs to do in each of the movies he's been in. And if I had to say what has been my favourite car, it would have to be the 1967 Ford Mustang from Tokyo Drift, because it's the Ford Mustang. What else needs to be said? And this is question 3 from my personal lackey, Gurak Weavile. If you headed the XFL, oh dear, I see where this is going already. What could you have done better to make it? Could you have done to make it better than Vince McMahon did? Well, first of all, I would not have put WWE superstars, talent, and Vince McMahon himself all over the product. If it had been allowed to stand on its own without any WWE involvement whatsoever, then it might still be here. In terms of the concept of the XFL, I thought it was quite an innovative little thing. For American football, that was just a little bit more extreme, a little bit edgier, and a little bit more entertaining. And, I'm not a huge American football fan, but McMahon thinks of it as the extra fun league. He wanted to do something better. He wanted to go up against the NFL. I mean, this is the same person that took the World Wrestling Federation as it was back in the day, and he didn't want it to be the status quo of wrestling like everyone else was back in the day. He wanted to make change. He wanted to make innovations. He wanted to do that with American football. And I think if he had removed the WWE connections, it would have been better. And that's how I would have done it. Right, from Firebird Freak 87. And he has mentioned this on Facebook, saying, shame it, MJ's Q&A segment's not on YT. Now here's the thing, Mr. Firebird. Whilst I appreciate the love you show for these Q&As, they are available on YouTube and Blip. See, I've got 2 different audiences. I've got to provide for different people. But his question is, as much as we both like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Saturday Morning, and The OVA, which is Sonic the Anime or Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, if you want to be technical. Should there be another Sonic cartoon or a true Sonic the Animated Series? How do you want it to be in order to be the best Sonic cartoon to date? You see, the thing is, there is always going to be a debate and conflict of interests in regards to what people will have as the definitive and most perfect adaptation in animation of Sonic the Hedgehog as it is. I mean, you're always going to get people on the side of the fence of Adventures of, with people like Random DCE that love the Long John Baldry portrayal of Dr. Ivor Robotnik. There are going to be people like me that like the slightly more mature and darker aspect of Saturday Morning, because it was a Sonic story I could take seriously. And although, you know, don't get me wrong, I got love for Adventures of, because that was the first Sonic animated series I ever laid my eyes on, but Saturday Morning showed, hang on, let's put Sonic in a situation where he's having to fight the system, in this case Robotnik, to actually regain control of the planet to those who it belonged to, in this case the Royal Acorn family, which Sonic is affiliated with. As for the OVA, it's a product of its time. I mean, for me it's a nice guilty little pleasure. The voice acting's cheesy, but then again, you're talking to a guy who personifies cheesiness, and dang proud of it, I might add too. We don't want to see another Sonic X, although I say that, I'd like to see the animation style of that aspect, you know, the quality and, you know, the way it would, all the rendering was done, brought in, and actually have that taken as an influence. But I think most fans would like to see a Sonic story in terms of animation where it's much closer to the games, because the only one so far that is true to the games as possible is either Adventures of, with all the references from Sonic's 1 to 2, and Sonic the Anime from 1995 or 1999 if you count that as the Western release. How I would do it, I would definitely have like a reboot or a reimagining of the Saturday Morning one, because, you know, like I say, I love that show, because you have Sonic being the hedgehog with attitude. That is the way he should be. And you've got a competent and authority figure like Sally Acorn that keeps him in line whenever he strays away. Now here's the thing, they say they're co-leaders of the freedom fighters, yet Sally's the one that's always dishing out the missions and always getting people in line. So I definitely have somewhat of a retelling of Saturday Morning. I definitely bring Jaleel White back. Despite what some people may say, I think he is the true voice of Sonic. That is my opinion, and it will not be changed, just to let people know. I don't know if I'd bring in the rest of the gaming voice actors, although here's the thing, I'd bring in Crispin Freeman as Knuckles. This is a guy who's been Kyon in the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and one of my personal favourite animes as Zelgadis Greywords from Slayers. I mean, he is just this very kind of blue-collar working stuff, like, ugh, why me, been there, yada 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 kind of shtick. I'd reinstate Lisa Ortiz as Amy Rose. I mean, the new one's nice, but it's Lisa. What's not to like? Have possibly Kate Higgins to come back as Tails, because I find she's the best one to voice Miles Prower at this point. And maybe bring Jim Cummings back as Robotnik, if the guy still wants to do it. I definitely go 2D animation, because I find that serves Sonic the best, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the CG work that they did with Sonic G, or Sonic Generations if you want to be at. But yeah, that's the kind of direction I would take it, and I would probably make it slightly more light-hearted than Saturday Morning, but definitely not be candy-coated kind of a Sonic cartoon where it's just too light-hearted and it doesn't take itself seriously. I like a little bit of a serious plot direction. Now these are three questions that are private, but I'm not going to address them as private because, you know, I'm going to be over all day with that. Best movie this year so far? Star Trek Into Darkness, purely and simply because the story had been progressed and advanced further, and we get to see the characters trials and tribulations of what they go through on the Enterprise, because it had been mentioned on like spoiler websites that you sort of see them gel together properly as a family, and you get to sort of see the little foibles and the little interactions that they have with each other. And I just find that the actors had gelled together a little bit more to give an even better performance than the last movie that was out in 2009. Question 6. Oh, this is so easy to answer. And I have it right here. This was off of British shelves for about 7 years or so, and I don't know why they decided to remove it, but all I know is I'm glad they brought vanilla cola back. It is gorgeous. That and Cherry Pepsi Max. Now, here's the thing, why are Pepsi not putting that into small bottles like that? Because you've only got the 2-litre sizes at the moment. I don't know why they're doing that, but I think it'll be a no-brainer for them to go and put it into bottles this size, so we can take them places. And final question. Question 7. What do you find most relaxing? Now this, like most questions, is real easy and simple to answer. The things I find most relaxing, one of which is going to the movies. Now most people know I live, breathe and sleep movies. I find it's the ultimate form of escapism, because when I'm done doing work or there's a good movie out like Amazing Spider-Man, Fast 6, Star Trek Into Darkness, I'm the sort of person, I like to delve into a fantasy world. I want to escape reality, because when you do like a 9-to-5 job, the one thing you don't want to be doing all the time is keeping yourself grounded in reality, because reality bores me to tears. I'm sorry if that offends some people, but this is one of the reasons why I don't watch TV on a regular basis no more, because, when I come home from work, and, up until about 05 or 06, I'd be glued to the box, come home, watch Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman. Shut up, we all did it, we all watched it. It's a nice way to escape reality, just sort of thing, just switch off, just relax, forget what's worrying you for a couple of hours, and just do that. And more reality shows popped up, and I'm like, no, I switched TV on to escape that. And this is a sort of similar thing now I'm seeing with the Xbox One, where TV shows up on there. It's like, no. I want Xbox for games, not TV. It's the same reason why I go on YT as well. I want to escape reality. So, like I say, I go to escape reality, watch a movie because I find it's great. Other thing I find relaxing, I actually find photography, video making and editing so therapeutic, because I'm able to bring visions or an image of how I want to do a video or present things the way I want them to do. I find that very therapeutic, and it feels very satisfying and self-rewarding, or just rewarding, when I actually see the whole thing come together and I look at the thing, I got it. I've got it exactly how I want it. And like I say, that's what I find most relaxing, is when I'm doing little things like that, and you've got the mind, no, not going crazy, you've got the mind ticking over, keeping it sharp, keeping it all nicely tuned up, and, it's a good way of, brushing up and homing in your skills a little bit as an editor. Now, most people will know, after May 17th, about a week ago, 6 years ago, on that day, I activated this YouTube account. Would I say I'm a better YouTuber by this point? I'd like to think so. I look back at some older stuff and think, oh good lord, did I really do that? Now, one of the things I have noticed, sometimes it's always good to take a step back to see how far you've come. I've noticed, voice work wise, I have advanced and improved tremendously. I'm looking at this objectively and look at video editing skills. I mean, if you took a look at special features from, say, 2009 or 2010 and then compared it to now, you do see an improvement and advancement in quality. So, yeah, those are probably the things that I'm, most happy with and most relaxing. So, you know the drill by now, folks. You want to post a question onto my official Facebook? That link there. If you want to tweet me, there's my Twitter address. Or as ever, comment section below. Let me know your question. Those have been your 7 questions. Class dismissed.